morning.
Breaking now, 2 people are recovering after they were shot during a police-involved shooting inside of a Queens bar. We're live at that scene with details.
Good morning, Michelle. Very active scene here. As you can see, I'll step out of the way and you can see a number of detectives, investigators, police brass here, in fact, on the scene. And beyond that, you can see the number of shell casings and markers designating some of the evidence here underneath the L on Liberty Avenue at 88th Street. Now, all this started around 4 o'clock this morning. There was a dispute inside a bar. Police say that a suspect shot a bouncer in the leg. And then police who were in the scene responded to that shooting, and the suspect, that initial suspect, was in turn struck by police gunfire, struck in the torso and the arm. Is taken to the hospital in critical but stable condition at this point. The injuries to that bouncer not considered life-threatening. Again, this happening just a couple of hours ago. Big police response here as the investigation is still in the very early stages, but one suspect shot by police who were in turn responding to a shooting inside a bar here in Ozone Park. That's the latest for now. We're live in Ozone Park. Marcus Solis, Channel 7. Eyewitness News.
Now on Today New York, breaking news. A police-involved shooting outside a bar in Queens. The information coming into our newsroom right now.
Now we are following breaking news this morning. We're talking about a shooting involving police in Queens.
Details still coming into the newsroom, but this is what we know so far. It happened at a bar in Ozone Park at 88th Street and Liberty Avenue. Police say officers were called there after someone shot a bouncer. We're told the suspected gunman was then shot by police. Both victims are expected to survive. Police say they're going to release more information later this morning, and we will, of course, bring it to you as it comes into the newsroom.
A frightening scene outside a Queens nightclub early this morning. Police say they opened fire after a bouncer was attacked by a gunman. Good evening, everyone. I'm Katie Chan. You're watching the PIX11 News at 5. Police say when they arrived on the scene, the bouncer and the suspect were fighting for control of a gun. PIX11's Diana Rocco is live with us right now in Ozone Park with this story. Diana.
Hey, Katie, and it appears that the victim here may also have been acting as a good Samaritan, trying to prevent the gunman from firing into the crowd just within the last few minutes. Police crime scene units have packed up and reopened Liberty Avenue. This happened outside the Triple R nightclub early this morning, and when police showed up, they opened fire. Evidence markers scatter Liberty Avenue after police fire on 2 men scuffling over a gun in the street outside the Triple R Bar and Lounge Saturday morning. Police say the 911 call came in minutes before 4 a.m. about a shooting outside the lounge. A 38-year-old man had shot a 32-year-old man in the foot. Plainclothes officers in the area were on the scene within seconds.
Officers exited the unmarked vehicle. They observed the victim and the suspect fighting over control of a firearm. The officers ordered the suspect to drop the firearm. The suspect refused the demands, and at which time the officers discharged their firearm.
The 38-year-old suspect was shot in the arm and torso. This 9mm handgun and a knife were recovered at the scene. Both suspect and the victim were taken to Jamaica Hospital. Police say the victim here may have actually been a good Samaritan that saved others from getting shot.
There was a dispute with inside of the bar, possibly gang motivated. The individual that was shot in the foot seemed to do a heroic act by getting involved and stopping the individual from shooting other people that were coming outside of the establishment.
12 hours later, crime scene units investigate, and neighbors are calling for the liquor license to be revoked after what they say has been repeated problems with the Triple R Lounge. And tonight, police say the entire incident here was caught on body cam video. That is something that they are now reviewing. Both the suspect and the victim are expected to survive all of this as it remains under investigation. We're live in Ozone Park, Queens. I'm Diana Rocco, PIX11 News.
One person is shot by a police officer in Queens. The NYPD says there was a possible fight leading up to the shooting near a bar at the corner of 88th Street and Liberty Avenue in Ozone Park. 2 people were critically hurt. 4 were taken to the hospital in serious condition. No officers were hurt. A trains are bypassing 88th Street in both directions. That's because of the police activity there. New York 1 is on the way to the scene. We will bring you updates as soon as we get them.
Now, 6:30 and breaking news this morning out of Queens, where a large investigation is now underway after a police-involved shooting. Several people in the hospital right now. We'll have the very latest coming up in a live report from the scene. Now to that breaking news this morning. Police are investigating a shooting that has wounded 2 people inside of a bar in Queens. Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Soul is joining us live from Ozone Park with details. Marcus.
And Rob, we can show you the bar here on the corner. It is at 88th Street and Liberty Avenue in Ozone Park. Police say that just around 4 o'clock this morning, there was a shooting in that bar, a dispute between a suspect and the bouncer. Bouncer is shot in the leg, and then police who are in the area respond to the reports of that shooting. And then police actually opened fire on the suspect. The gunman was struck in the torso and the arm. Both victims taken to the hospital. Injuries not considered life-threatening. The suspect who was shot is in critical but stable condition, and again, the bouncer's injuries not considered to be life-threatening. No officers involved or injured in this shooting, but the investigation very much underway. The Force Investigation Division, which investigates all issues of police opening fire, discharging their weapons on scene here as this investigation continues. And we're live in Ozone Park. Marcus Solis, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Marcus, thank you so much.
We want to bring you the latest now on this morning's breaking news.
That's right, an investigation into a shooting involving police in Queens. All happening early this morning at a bar in Ozone Park at 88th Street and Liberty Avenue. Police tell us officers were called there after someone shot a bouncer after an argument, and that gunman was then shot by police. We're told both victims are expected to survive. Police say they will release more details later this morning, and of course we'll bring them to you.
Thank you very much. Now back to that breaking news this morning out of Queens, where someone was shot by police after allegedly opening fire at a bar. This all happened just a few hours ago, and Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis is live for us in Ozone Park with the details on what happened overnight. Marcus.
And Rob, we're expecting a briefing from police momentarily, but we do have some additional details of that incident that took place here in Ozone Park around 4 o'clock this morning. This was outside of a bar, RRR Bar and Lounge on 88th Street and Liberty Avenue, and there was a 911 call of a dispute with weapons. And as that call was coming in, there was an anti-crime unit that was actually driving by and kind of happened upon this. Now, it appears that the gunman shot someone who may have been a bouncer at the bar or former bouncer at the bar in the foot, and then police responded as the victim who had been shot was trying to wrestle that gun away from the gunman who had opened fire several times. Now, police did in fact shoot that gunman. He was struck in the torso and the arm. Both men were taken to Jamaica Hospital, where they are expected to recover. Their injuries not considered life-threatening. But again, this all under investigation as police respond to a shooting and then in turn open fire on the suspect. 2 people shot. The investigation continuing. We should get additional details shortly. That's the latest from Ozone Park. Marcus Solis, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Marcus, thank you. New details
started around 4 o'clock this morning. There was a dispute inside a bar. Police say that a suspect shot a bouncer in the leg. And then police who were in the scene responded to that shooting. And the suspect, that initial suspect, was in turn struck by police gunfire, struck in the torso and the arm. Is taken to the hospital in critical but stable condition at this point. The injuries to that bouncer not considered life-threatening. Again, this happening just a couple of hours ago. Big police response here as the investigation still in the very early stages, but 1 suspect shot by police who were in turn responding to a shooting inside a bar here in Ozone Park. That's the latest for now. We're live in Ozone Park. Marcus Solis, Channel 7. Eyewitness News.
The story for you, 1 person shot by a police officer after a fight outside a lounge in Queens. The NYPD says the fight started at the RRR Bar and Lounge at 88th Street and Liberty Avenue in Ozone Park. Investigators say when police arrived at the scene, a 38-year-old man had a gun in his hand. He was shot twice by police and taken to the hospital in serious condition. Police say the 38-year-old shot a member of the lounge's security in the foot. No officers were hurt. A trains are still bypassing 88th Street in both directions because of the police activity.